to talk about?
Well, firstly, we don't have a freezer, so we have to eat these popsicles before they melt.
They feel pretty cool.
So we're trying this new style of video where we talk to the camera and we don't write a script.
It's not going well.
So we ended the last video where Matt gave us his house to finish, and there was a lot of work to be done. He did the insulation and did pretty much just the bones of it, but we had to finish some of the roof, so that was the first thing we did. I remember we got back from work one day and you put the corrugated roof on the last panel.
We decided we wanted to bring in some more light, so we put in windows that we got on Facebook Marketplace, but it was a pain in the ass to do that.
But it's great because so much light gets in and it feels more modern, more like us. Like we got to put our own touch on it, which was nice because Matt did most of the work, but now we feel like it's ours. Then we moved the loft down.
So Matt had put in a loft. It was a little bit higher than we wanted, so we moved that down. And we did that by removing the loft that was there and framed in the bathroom.
I did it, and I didn't even know how to use the drill last year. Now I made a whole wall.
And by framing in a bathroom that went to about halfway up the building, and then framing on top of that using rough sawn, this kind of section that comes across that completes the second floor, or the loft area. And so when you look up, you see the pine boards that we used for the flooring on top, and it looks really good.
Put windows in the eaves. That was some more cutting. So we have 2 windows that open on either eave, which will create some cross ventilation. And then after that, it was time to drywall, right?
Yep.
So we went to Home Depot. We got 26 sheets of drywall, loaded it into our car at like 9 o'clock at night, manically. We were in the parking lot, and we had 26 sheets of drywall in our car, and this guy came up to us and was like, "Your car's gonna break down." And we were like, "Nah." So we got to driving, and we were fine. Drywall's a bitch. We unloaded and reloaded that heavy stuff so many times, and it's really delicate. You can't break it.
So we got the drywall in, and then it took like 4 or 5 days to get the mud in, and then we had to sand it.
Painted the walls white.
Meanwhile, Kai was doing other stuff.
I was doing tongue and groove siding in the bathroom that I then put Thompson's water shield on. We were about to get to the floor when something horrible happened.
This is the worst nightmare.
Noah stepped straight through the OSB on the floor because of a loose board, and we noticed that the floor was soaking wet, all of the insulation in the floor and the OSB on the bottom. Soaking wet.
From the ground, because it's been such a rainy season, the moisture on hot days would evaporate from the ground up into the OSB and would just collect there, and it had no way to get out. So the insulation was getting wet, and it was smelling weird, and we saw this. There were a bunch of ants crawling around, hundreds of ants, ant eggs, and it was disgusting. And this was here the whole time. We didn't even know it. So
we would have had a lot of neighbors out here in the woods. Unwelcomed guests, if you will.
So we're really glad I stepped through the floor.
So we had to start over with the floor, tear it out. We managed to keep the OSB on the top layer so we could reuse it, so we labeled where it went, cut it out, took it out, and to prevent moisture we did a layer of plastic on the ground, and then we put back in our floor.
without insulation. The foundation is insulated, but the flooring is not insulated. So we're hoping that should be good enough. It will be a layer of plastic between the ground and the flooring, so
Yeah.
we shouldn't have to worry about that anymore.
So then we put back in our OSB and we put a layer of rosin paper down. That's what it's called, right?
I think so.
Paper? It's like just paper, just another layer to keep the moisture out. And then we put some plywood on top and painted it blue. And then dipped our feet in purple paint and walked around.
Matt also was part of that as the 3 builders of the place. But my dad's helped a lot too.
Now we're just working on trim and final touches to the structure before we leave for our bike trip.
The interior.
Yeah, the
Final
interior.
touches to the interior.
Yeah. Besides, countertops, bathroom, staircase. We wanted to move in before we left, but we decided that it would be better to take our time and not be stressed out.
We're going back to New York for 1 month to record music,
And we're biking there, so it's going to take
we're taking our bikes. So it'll take 10 days to get there. So we won't be building for this entire next month.
which will be good. Breaks are
We're
necessary.
going to take a break, do some music, and then get back to building, and with a bunch of new stuff to build after we finish our place.
Thanks for watching, and if you like the music in this, check out our band, Telescope
Scope
Club.
With technology. This is just an update about our struggle with technology.
Ha!